We're getting ready to install this morel patch here in Dillsburg on the Knaub family property. And this here is really what drove this experiment. I've been finding these shagbark hickory nuts fully myceliated with an unknown species of mushroom, as well as the shagbark hickory with myceliation crawling across it. And I find this in areas where we're finding this Morchella Diminutiva, or the diminutive morel, commonly enough that I believe that we may be able to get some fruits in or off of these areas from shagbark hickory inoculant that we were able to create back in the lab. So we're going to run this up. It's morel season right now. We're going to see how fast this lab mycelium can run in this natural setting and how well it does within the season. This mycelium should smell like morels. It smells actually like hickory. You want to sniff on that? Man, it smells good. You can see some heavy myceliation crawling across this shagbark stick. It's one of the things we've got in here. This is shagbark, hickory, shagbark, the bark of the bark. That's going to go in here as well. We have a couple of these shagbark hickory nuts remnants. There's a little bit of the grains attached to it as well. Everything it just seems to have eaten through quite heavily. I mean, this was inoculated on 420. The substrate itself was inoculated on 420, nice. And the grains were not far behind that either. The grains were only done beginning of what, 4.2, maybe 4.3. So this whole project has been quite fast, surprisingly fast. There's the grains in there. And since we are literally in the area that they grow, everything that they grow on is within arm's reach. Like, let's give them a little bit of fresh shagbark in there to run off of. Some of the sticks in the area. Let's give them something a little new to grow on. Faster growth off of that. Let's probably get a little more grains in this patch. We're going to encapsulate this with cardboard just to help keep it from some of the, well, really just the birds at this point, because if deer are passing through and they want to eat this, they'll be able to move this cardboard. But we're going to cover this up, help it from some of the animals that might get to it from above, as well as trap the moisture so that we don't have any of this drying out. We are expecting a lot of rain here soon, so it's not too much of a concern. But it is a nice barrier protection. I'm gonna give it a little bit of leaf in there just to give it something fast to run on. And I should be able to push through this side fairly quick. This is something that we do with mulch-loving mushrooms. We've also, like wine caps, you can do these with oysters in different beds. It's not something you see with morels. We think morels are more root-related fungi, but I've just been seeing too much evidence of how these have been pinning and where they pin that I think it's not as much ground-related as it is what's dropped from above onto the ground. So we shall see. Week's time shall tell.